A second edition of UBC News Tonight on this 4th day of September 2025. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. We do welcome you to this news bulletin this evening. Now, before we delve into the bulletin this evening, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Explores turning the parish development model into a bank. The Ministry of Education directs full compliance with study tour regulations. Internal Affairs Ministry receives border security equipment from the U.S. ambassador. And KCCA mandates permission before displaying campaign posters.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Good evening once again. Now, the government has revealed that the flagship program, the Parish Development Model, PPDA, will soon be transformed into a bank. The national coordinator of the Parish Development Model, Dennis Galabuzi, made the revelation during a meeting with Prime Minister Robina Nabanja to review the program's implementation and performance following the presidential monitoring tour. The meeting took place at the Prime Minister's office in Kampala. We have the details.
The Parish Development Model Project was launched in February 2022 in Kibuku District, Bukedi Sub-Region by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni as a government flagship program geared towards wealth creation and poverty eradication among Ugandans. The program targets the 39% of Ugandans living a subsistence lifestyle, enabling them to join the cash economy. 2 months ago, the President concluded the PDM tours across 18 regions of Uganda. Since its inception, government has injected over 3.3 trillion shillings into PDM circles, benefiting more than 2.8 million households. According to the national coordinator, Dennis Galabuzi, piggery, coffee, and poultry projects have so far proved the most successful. Following its performance, government is now considering transforming the program into a bank. However, Galabuzi noted that for the program to succeed, government must introduce an insurance policy for PDM.
Open up, it will be opening up in a can of worms. Let us progress here slowly and we see how it happens.
Prime Minister Robina Nabanja expressed concern over reports of theft of animals from PDM beneficiaries and called for immediate police action, citing a presidential directive to deny bail to PDM thieves.
Thieves have been stealing their pigs, and once they are taken to police, they are released on bond. So, and that makes our work quite difficult. And these thieves are come back to steal from others. So it is a vicious circle of thuggery. These thieves have money, they bribe their way from police. And to some extent, this one is crippling our performance. It is unacceptable.
Currently, government allocates 100 million shillings per parish, but the Prime Minister says the figure is being considered for doubling.
It does not mean the threshold. He means to increase from 100 the fund, not an individual. Because 1 million, according to him, is still enough. But in order for us to benefit as many people as possible, he said he will increase to 200. I remember him talking about this. Even in Bunyoro, he talked about this. He said, they said, but people are not, he said, no, we shall increase this fund to 200, depending on how government, depending on our economy.
Despite several interventions in northern Uganda, including PDM, concerns remain that the region is still grappling with poverty.
So, Minister of Gender, you need to focus in areas of Karamoja, because when you also fly over Karamoja, you don't see money. You don't. When you fly over, when you go to Bukit nowadays, there's a change. Bukit, a very big change. You really see that we depend on iron sheets and these other things, the plantations around the homestead. But when you go to Karamoja, you wonder whether those people even eat. There's nothing outside. When you go to northern Uganda, nothing completely. But when you go to the other areas of Arua, you see another change. So, colleagues, we may sink as much money as possible. If we don't work on the minds of those people, nothing will happen.
Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
President Yoweri Museveni has commended Pentecostal churches for complementing government's efforts in promoting the gospel of wealth creation. The message was delivered on the President's behalf by the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, at the closure of the Full Gospel Churches of Uganda annual Pastors Conference held at St. Lawrence, London College, Maya.
Lauryn Masika has urged religious leaders to address not only the spiritual needs but also the physical and economic well-being of their congregations. He emphasized that people should not work solely for food but also actively participate in the money economy to meet other essential needs.
I thank you for preaching a holistic ministry that is concerned about both the physical and spiritual needs of the faithful. I commend the Pentecostal pastors for using their pulpits to spread the message of wealth creation at the household level. Poverty in Uganda arises from the fact that 33% of the households are still engaged in subsistence farming. They are still working only for food. This is dangerous because, in addition to food, there are other human needs. For example, the need for clothing, shelter, school fees, etc. These human needs have monetary value. That is to say, they can only be obtained through the medium of money.
Using a parable in the Bible, the President assured the congregation that the NRM government guarantees freedom of worship and treats all denominations equally.
Even when the NRM came to power in 1986, some religious leaders tried to decampaign the Pentecostal faith and asked us to ban the Barokole churches. But we refused, because, as told by Jesus in St. Luke Gospel, chapter 10, 25-27. In that parable, Jesus gave an answer to the question, who is my neighbor? Jesus introduced a revolutionary idea by saying that a neighbor is not necessarily a person from your tribe or religion.
The overseer of Full Gospel Churches in Uganda, Reverend Paul Chinatama, praised the government for safeguarding freedom of worship and noted that their churches address both spiritual and socio-economic concerns.
We believe in spiritual transformation that can result into transformed lives in our communities. The full gospel that Paul preached taught believers to work, and Paul was very serious because he said, if anybody does not work, he shouldn't even eat. So Full Gospel Church, though we pray so much that God could even save us from those barbarians, but in addition to prayer, we also teach our people to work.
The president contributed 30 million shillings towards the conference, which was attended by over 1,000 pastors. Currently, Full Gospel Churches of Uganda have over 2,000 churches nationwide. Among the attendees was the grandson of the church's Canadian founder. Full Gospel Churches of Uganda were established in the 1960s by Canadian ministries Pastor Hugh and Andre Lazil under the Glad Tidings Ministry Society, laying the foundation for a national Pentecostal movement. Reporting for ABC TV, Helen Barbara and Ismail Kashloha.
First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Kataha Museveni, has met the new United Nations resident coordinator to Uganda, Mr. Leonard Madezveda Zulu, to discuss strengthening partnerships in education, technical training and skills development. The meeting took place during Mr. Zulu's courtesy visit to State House Nakasero. Mrs. Museveni highlighted the long-standing collaboration between Uganda and the UN, including UNESCO's 75-year contribution to education and culture, the UN Joint Adolescents and Youth Program, and the Education Plus initiative aimed at reducing teenage pregnancies, early marriages and HIV infections through secondary education. She stressed the urgent need for skilled technical instructors in areas like road and railway construction to equip Ugandan youth with practical skills. Mr. Zulu commended the First Lady for her 9 years of service as Minister of Education and her advocacy for the girl child. He reaffirmed the UN's commitment to supporting Uganda's Vision 2040 and NDP 4, particularly in education, vocational training, entrepreneurship and youth empowerment. Referring to his recent visit to Karamoja, Mr. Zulu highlighted successful vocational programs transforming former cattle rustlers into skills artisans and noted that such models could be scaled nationwide. He added that the UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework 2026-2030 aligned with Uganda's Vision 2040 and will soon be launched in partnership with the government of Uganda. Flag bearer for National Resistance Movement and an independent candidate have been nominated for the 2026 mayoral race for Arua City. Nominations, which started yesterday, have also shown about 32 candidates nominated for positions of city councillors. We have the details.
Nominated by the National Electoral Commission for Arua City mayoral race. In day 2 of the exercise, over 32 were also nominated for positions of city councillors in the coming 2026 elections.
Yeah, we elected leaders, but we have not seen services. We have not seen what they have done. And I just felt like to come and contest so that I also help and support my youth, women and people with disabilities.
Arua City's nomination exercise is being presided over by Osman Ezale, the Arua City Electoral Commission returning officer.
Kick-started nominations of the city mayor and the councillors yesterday, and by the end, the close of business yesterday, we nominated 18 candidates, and this morning we restarted that exercise again. And
Zale disclosed that turn-up by women has been more than the men in the position of city councillors.
Women might be having more nominations today because they have more seats. They have 6 seats in the city, while the directed elected councillors have only 3.
He recalls the challenges that the commission faced during the nomination exercise.
So this time we have a pre-registration, which some did not do yesterday or before that yesterday. So that one made us cover less people. Some of our photos don't meet the requirements as requested by EC. You know, we are supposed to take these photos straight faced, and our background of these photos are white and gray. You find some candidates come with a different color apart from these two, and not facing, not having a straight face. So some we send them back to go and get those ones.
Lawrence Alionji, the NRM flag bearer, and Caesar Draichabo on an independent ticket were the two nominated in the afternoon hours as candidates for mayoral race. According to Alionji, he wants to make Arua City as one of the cleanest cities in Uganda.
I consider myself only the face of this idea that Arua City can do better in how it runs local government programs and how the local government impacts the life of the residents of Arua City. But you see, I want to believe that a hungry man is better than a man with diarrhea. That it is better not to eat at all than to eat bad food. But we're not just cleaning Arua City for its beautification. When I say systematic cleaning, I am meaning that PDMs will actually reach the people and benefit them, and that helps them with their hunger. I am saying Imyogas will reach the young people and help them, that helps with their hunger. I am saying the GROW programs will actually benefit the many women who I know are the drivers of the home. This is what I'm talking about. And when we say cleaning, we're cleaning the clogs in the system so that what is meant for the people actually reach the people.
Caesar Draichabo has promised to work with all stakeholders of the city, regardless of tribe and political affiliations.
Our people cannot continue on the promises of handouts. Our people deserve a sustainable livelihood. I come as an independent candidate for a very simple reason. Access to government services, access to opportunities in this city should never and will never be tagged on who is putting on yellow, who is putting on blue, who is putting on red, who is putting on green. That ended yesterday.
Joseph Fodama, UBC News.
Thank you, Joseph Fodama. Now, the Ministry of Education and Sports has partnered with the Uganda Management Institute to train school administrators on key values of management and leadership under the Uganda Secondary Education Expansion Project. The program targets 3,300 schools and 6,600 administrators.
The evolving education environment has compelled the Ministry of Education and Sports to design mechanisms for retooling school administrators to match current demands.
Saying that we are having these head teachers, one of the challenges they have got gaps. They had gaps in terms of leadership, how they have been managing records, how they have been monitoring the teachers' service delivery at school level, how the learners have been attended to. So we are trying to build their capacity. Exposing them to management, exposing them to how they can monitor lessons, but basically triggering the teachers to perform as expected.
How do we now involve? Through the Secondary Education Expansion Project, the ministry has partnered with UMI to equip head teachers and their deputies with basic management and leadership skills while leveraging technology.
Trying to build their capacity in terms of management and leadership. We partnered with Uganda Management Institute. Of course, Ministry of Education is giving the monitoring and the support that is required, but Uganda Management Institute is offering the lead in terms of training. The goal is to ensure that the administrators support these schools to be performing their roles in an exemplary way. The head teachers are supposed to monitor the teachers while at school. They are supposed to create a community of practice, because when the head teachers get it right and their deputies, it becomes very easy for them to support the teachers.
Cluster coordinators noted that targeted administrators are expected to drive transformation in teaching and learning.
When you talk about integration of ICT and the training, target is also using of or integrating technology in teaching and learning. So if the participants get that training. At the end of the day, we shall have the ICT being integrated in the teaching and learning in the schools where they are coming from.
School managers attending the training expressed optimism that the initiative will bring about meaningful improvements in the education sector.
From the experiential point of view, we have benefited massively. There are many things that we took for granted. For example, we knew that we had boards of governors, but if you looked at the composition and why they are composed the way they are composed, it is something that required a little bit more education for us to appreciate them.
In the Kampala cluster, at least 34 centers have been established to conduct the training alongside others across the country. The exercise will run for 10 days ahead of the start of third term. Marion Awori and Abdul Nasir Lubwama, UBC.
The acting executive secretary for Uganda National Council for Science and Technology, Dr. Martin Ongol, has challenged the National Biosafety Committee to ensure that all research in the country is conducted in an ethical way. According to Dr. Ongol, there is a lot of research aimed at driving innovations globally, and therefore regulators need to ensure that harm is minimized to both humans and animals and the environment.
Many countries, including Uganda, are investing in research as it directly fosters innovation by discovering new knowledge and applications, but also guides the development of new ideas into inventions and services that benefit society. It is against this backdrop that the acting executive secretary for Uganda National Council for Science and Technology, Dr. Martin Ongol, challenged the National Biosafety Committee to ensure that all research, both in health and agriculture, is conducted ethically. He was inaugurating the 7th National Biosafety Committee in Kampala.
The demand for biosafety regulatory oversight has increased, and also on the international scale, there are a lot of discussions in the field of bioeconomy, use of modern biotechnology in enhancing either development of new medicines, development of climate-resistant crops, control of diseases, and new methods for treatment. And with these changes, our National Biosafety Committee need to adapt, and we are very confident that the 7th National Biosafety Committee will be up to that task.
The 14-member National Biosafety Committee is headed by Professor Lauryn Masika and deputized by Dr. Barbara Mugwanya. Professor Lauryn Masika takes over from Professor Noah Jiwanka.
The role of biosafety is to safeguard the public, safeguard human health, safeguard animal health, environment from the risks associated with new emerging technologies. We look at the regulatory aspect of the biotechnologies that are coming to be deployed at various levels. We also look at research involving biotechnologies. We look at clinical and field trials involving technologies to make sure that they are conducted in a safe way.
The National Biosafety Committee plays a regulatory oversight for modern biotechnology developments to protect public health, animal health, and the environment. Adia Nakuti, UBC.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but return after these messages.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees.
At UNOC, we believe in safety.
Revered as the patrons of the wild, my horn stood tall, announcing my presence among Africa's Big Five. Yet, with all my strength, I struggled to survive. Then Uganda Wildlife Authority gave us something, a safe home at the Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary. And here we began to thrive again. Today, we are 48 members strong, with 17 cows, ready to take our unique story into the future. This is your lifetime opportunity to name a rhino, and with it, find the conservation efforts that keep our story alive. For more information, visit our website, www.ugandawildlifeauthority.org.
Chigenda kutokotanga sichesanikire. Don't miss Boda Boda Union Festival and Expo as we celebrate Boda Boda's contribution to Uganda's economy and the President's birthday, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who will be our chief guest. Come enjoy your favorite artists, music and dance competitions, DJ competitions, Boda Boda races, Ludo, boxing tournaments, and so much more. At the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds, get your ticket from your MP, Councillor, LC5 or LC3 chairperson. Fedna Tubeyo! Union, the better way.
Welcome back from that break. Now in more stories this evening, victims of the Bwaise fire are appealing for government support to rebuild their businesses. The blaze that gutted the Bwaise business complex destroyed timber shops and hardware stores, leaving property worth millions in ashes. Many youths are now jobless, vulnerable and desperate, warning that without support, hopelessness may push them into crime. This call was made during their meeting with the Wakiso NRM chairperson coordinator in Nabingo.
Friday, August 30th, tragedy struck the Bwaise business complex in Kawempe division when a fierce fire ripped through the timber shops and wood stores, leaving destruction in its what was once a busy hub of hard work and survival has now been reduced to ashes.
When this fire issue gutted, there is no help that we have got. We expected to get help, maybe from the leaders of our community, from the leaders that are in Bwaise, because it is in Bwaise, a very, very, very crucial business area where everyone knows that Bwaise is an industrial park. But we have not got any help, and that's why we have run to this office of the Patriotic League of Uganda.
For many victims, especially the youths, the complex was more than just a workplace. It was their only source of income, hope for a better future and a daily bread.
We had a problem and most of our machines got burnt, most of our timber got burnt, everything that we have for a living got burnt.
One of the affected youths lamented, with their voice heavily with despair. They say some of the money they used was for PDM.
kuva mu Kimumbasa eri wansi tuwadde baana ba ghetto kuva wansi eri gatesobola kwambala wadde n'akasaati kano naye twaweddewo Mukama Katonda tetumalina kyakuza twaweddewo.
Lwe nafuna ssente za PDM n'enyongera mulimu gwange ogwa mashini eziranda embaawo ze tubadde tukolako ne bavubuka bannange naye byonna byakoze ki byasaanyeewo tetulina we tutandikira.
In a community already battling poverty and unemployment, the fire has deepened their fears that the jobless youths may be pushed into crime just to survive. The victims are now appealing to government and well-wishers for urgent support, asking for a startup capital to rebuild their businesses and restore dignity to their lives.
Nemuzeyi tusaba otuyambe otutaase otusaasire nga ffe abaana ba ghetto wansi mu Kimumbasa tetwagala kuddayo mu mbeera eri gye watujjamu. Tuli mu kusoomozebwa okw'amaanyi wakati nze mbadde ntandise okubajja nga mbajja akatebe n'enkatunda.
Tetulina wakuddukira tetujja kuddayo gye twava tubadde twakoowayo nga tuli mu mbeera ennungi tufuuse bazadde tuteredde naye nga tetukyalina we tulya afande tusaba
We have a lot of dependents, we have a lot of things that have been lost in the fire. We need help for something that we can start with. The President, General Muhoozi, and everyone has been helping other people that have been having issues.
Musementa Zainab, National Coordinator for NRM in Wakiso and Head of Wakiso PLU, has pledged to forward their plea to the relevant offices while urging President Museveni to intervene.
Tusaba abantu bano musobolo bawo obuyambi abalala bali mu banka ziweddewo abasinga abavubuka babadde basobodde okweteerako emirimu gyabwe nga basobola okwebeezaawo kati senga tuba tetuyambye bantu bano bajja kusobola oluusi kudda mu mpisa embi ate batandika okukwata abantu omubaddiya.
The fire was not just an accident. It was the loss of livelihoods, stability and hope. All they seek now is a helping hand to raise from the ashes.
The International Rescue Committee, IRC, has implemented a 2-year self-care project codenamed She Cares in Lamour and Yumbe settlements, aimed at reducing unintended pregnancies and improving access to modern contraceptives among the refugees and host communities. Now, in collaboration with Accord, Warudet and the Ministry of Health, IRC organized the She Care Self-Care Advocacy Symposium to share the project's achievements and findings from the Endline study conducted between June and July 2025 in Palabek, Lamour, Bidibidi and Yumbe.
Uganda continues to face a high population growth rate, which has outpaced the growth of health infrastructure, workforce, financing and diagnostic capacity. The Ministry of Health continues to strengthen community-based provision of sexual and reproductive health and rights services to ensure equitable access. It is against this backdrop that the International Rescue Committee, IRC, together with its implementing partners, through the Ministry of Health, organized the She Care Advocacy Symposium to present key achievements and findings of the Endline study conducted Palabek, Lamour, Bidibidi and Yumbe.
And for the locations where we work, we have one of the highest rates of teenage pregnancy, with the lowest being at 22.4%, meaning that in the ANC clinic, of the clients that we see there, up to 28% are adolescents. That should ring a bell.
Health experts highlighted that self-care is critical in addressing inequitable access to sexual and reproductive health rights services, especially by improving health literacy among communities. District officials in Yumbe commended the Ministry of Health and partners like the International Rescue Committee, IRC, for interventions aimed at reducing teenage pregnancies. They encourage the youth to proactively seek sexual and reproductive health and rights services from health facilities.
We had to pass a resolution that the implementation of family planning activities within the district must be undertaken, and that resolution was unanimously supported by the members of the council. There is a very tremendous improvement, specifically from young population. They are very positive in terms of taking now the family planning, methods.
Zahara Abigava, UBC News.
Residents of Chirinya Bombe village in Boyogere, Wakiso district, together with local leaders and police, set fire to a shrine allegedly linked to witchcraft practices. The shrine belonged to Nalongo Nachiganda Beni, who had refused to vacate the home of the late Swaibu Kantanta's children despite repeated demands. The incident followed allegations that Nalongo, in collaboration with a woman identified as Kevin, said to be working with the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, was attempting to forcibly grab the late Swaibu's family property.
Tensions flared in Chirinya-Bombe village after residents alongside LC leadership and police set ablaze a shrine allegedly used by Nalongo Nachiganda Benny, accused of attempting to grab the home of the late Swaib Katantazi's children.
That after the COVID, we just had rumors that this lady had bought, which we residents could not take. So we just ganged up with the boy, told this lady, you are not going to steal these children's property.
The dispute erupted after the orphans of the late Katantazi petitioned the senior presidential assistant for special duties, Fiona Barungi, accusing Nalongo, a former tenant, of conniving with the State House Anti-Corruption Unit staff member, identified only as Kevin, to fraudulently claim ownership of their home.
She was a tenant and she signed a memorandum of understanding to vacate the place. So
during a meeting convened in the village, residents led by LC1 chairman Kafero Medi accused Nalongo of using forged documents and links within the anti-corruption unit to intimidate the orphans.
Otunulira ebiwandiiko bino toyinza kubeera ng'oli mukulembeze ali ku level eyange n'enzirira ebintu by'abamulekwa n'enzikiriziganda kyo nti Nalongo Nakiganda bibye.
They further alleged that she subjected the children, led by Shafiq Sebaduka, to harassment.
A tenant who has been there 10 years plus, so she thought she was going to take that advantage after this gentleman has died. But we said, no, this is not going to happen. Hanged up with the young man, told him you have to go to all the authorities, name it.
Barungi condemned the alleged abuse of public office and cited constitutional provisions empowering local authorities and police to evict fraudulent tenants.
Landlord what? Tenant bill as of 2022. When a tenant fails to pay, landlord is entitled to re-enter the premises, take possession in the presence of LC1 and police. Only
my office brought their complaint and they told me that they had been failed by some of anti-corruption staff when police was trying to do their job with the LC, because there is a law that guides LC and police.
When the LC chairman and police broke into the house, they discovered it had been turned into a shrine where Nalong and her family were hiding. Residents later set the shrine and its contents on fire.
It has been a shrine. She turned the houses into shrines. These are rentals, but she had turned them into shrines. I think you have seen what you have found in all the back clothes and all the kind of spears and all unnecessary things which she has done. Which has put in our house.
However, shortly after Barungi's departure, it is alleged that Kevin and associates stormed the house and assaulted the orphans.
I gave them a chance for them to come in my office and we work together. They refused. Now, I want to ask anti-corruption in media this time to stop doing whatever they are doing, because it's not right. Anti-corruption should stop, or either some people in anti-corruption should stop doing what they are doing, because they are breaking the law, yet they are there to make sure the law is respected.
Barungi later condemned the assault and said that her office had already raised the matter with Kevin's superiors.
All the sister offices in government that are responsible for such cases to make sure to give justice to people who want justice.
Joseph Chigozigola and Jamil Sekaja for UBC News.
UBC News tonight. Now, the Catholic Diocese of Lira was filled with joy and prayerful celebrations as Bishop Sanctus Lino Wanok ordained 2 priests and 10 deacons in a colorful ceremony attended by hundreds of faithful, clergy and culture leaders. Take a look.
Present. The ordination began with a solemn ritual as candidates were called from the congregation and presented by their parents to the bishop for service of God. Kneeling before the altar, they pledged obedience and commitment.
Do you promise respect and obedience to me and my successors? I do.
In one of the most sacred moments, the bishop and priest laid hands upon them, invoking the Holy Spirit to strengthen their vocation. Bishop Santos Lino Wanok urged the newly ordained to embrace total surrender in service, reminding them that their mission is to be fathers to the whole world, presenting Christ to all and listening attentively to the Holy Spirit.
Gathering together the children of God, listening together with them the voice of the Holy Spirit. It is a surrender to do that will of God, giving enough time for building up community.
He further called for justice, accountability and humility in the ministry, warning against lure of money and bad politics. He encouraged cooperation with the government leaders but stressed the need for the clergy to speak truth and offer guidance whenever leaders stray from God's ways.
Because science without art is confusion. You balance the two so that your flock and upright. St. Paul says, if you don't know how to use money, it becomes the source of all evil that will come to disrupt the success of your ministry. And we have seen this physically in Uganda. To buy like vote for this year of vote. Some thought buying vote is the order of doing good politics. And now we are really ashamed in Uganda.
In his maiden speech, the newly ordained priest, Father George Ucheng, expressed gratitude to the church for accepting their calling.
It is about walking with people through their joys and sorrows, pointing them to the love of Christ.
The ordination also drew cultural leaders, including the paramount chief of Lango, Dr. Moses Michael Odon Kune, who urged the clergy to partner with the cultural institutions in addressing domestic violence, land conflicts and family breakdowns. After the ordination, the paramount chief proceeded to condole with the government chief whip, Dennis Samson Obua, who lost a brother, Major Armstrong Obua, in a motor accident. Burial is scheduled for tomorrow. Edilwa, UBC News.
Administrative officers from government ministries and agencies have been urged to create an enabling environment that attracts investors and supports the establishment of industries needed for Uganda to achieve its goal of an industrialized country.
Has reportedly affected the future of many young people.
A girl is pregnant and even defiled, underage, and then our parents, they go and sit down and negotiate and they agree on a certain amount. How do you feel? The future of the child is gone.
Sabay has long been known for athletics, but Bishop Masaba emphasized that it is now time for parents to prioritize education, especially for the girl child.
We encourage our parents, educate our children, support them to remain at school, especially the girl child. Because the person now who is enjoying life is the person who earns every 28 days.
It is a holistic approach. They help children in educational matters, they help children in spiritual issues, they help children in also domestic violence related things.
A senior manager in charge of partnerships at Compassion Uganda, Dr. Nicholas Karyebala, says that their focus on children and youth is deliberate given that they make up the majority of Uganda's population.
The children and youth are the agents of transformation. So if you have an individual child registered in a household, that child, if they go on to develop their capacity to go to school, to acquire skills and livelihood, they are able to transform not only their households, but also the communities where they live.
We feel they have given us an opportunity to become what we are today.
They supported me. I went to Ginger School of Nursing for my certificate. That was in 2015, and I completed in 2018 June.
Officiating as the chief guest, Kapchorwa Resident District Commissioner Kizito Nkugwa praised Compassion for supporting vulnerable children and urged locals to exercise their voting rights wisely, avoiding acts of violence that could lead to chaos.
The people of Sebe are aware that in a politically heated season, please exercise your human rights by voting the best leaders of your choice.
Compassion Uganda, in collaboration with Lira Diocese, has transformed the lives of children from vulnerable families through projects that economically empower them after acquiring skills in various disciplines, contributing to their self-sustenance. Reporting for ABC TV, Helen Barbara and...
The Executive Director's visit to Mbale began with a closed-door meeting with the Board of Directors and staff at the PPDA regional offices. The meeting focused on strengthening institutional performance, addressing operational challenges, and enhancing service delivery at the regional level. The team proceeded to the Mbale District Local Government Headquarters, where a stakeholders engagement meeting on procurement was convened and was attended by the Deputy KAO, Assistant RCC Mbale, security operatives, and representatives from civil society organizations, to mention but a few. PPDA Executive Director Benson Turamye emphasized the importance and discipline required in fulfilling PPDA's oversight role.
But there are many schools in this country, because of the budget constraint, who have failed to recruit those professionals. Secondly, when you go to other structures like contracts committee, they are supposed to have a contracts committee, but you find the staffing levels are also low, and they can't constitute contracts committee. But thirdly, they need training. So the training and capacity building is supposed to be done by PPDA. But also when you look at our funding basket, that constraint is also a limitation to go and train and enforce compliance.
The reservation of 15% of every procurement budget for special interest groups, including youth, women and persons with disabilities, to promote inclusivity was another point of emphasis.
Look at the farms that are registered, 99% are from Kampala. So, and yet we're supposed to pick from those. So I think we risk giving even these small projects that are reserved for our youth country to the people in Kampala. So I don't know, I think we need to do some more capacity building.
What we have been advising, I know it's saying that most of the people are from Kampala, but these organizations can also be registered. And we're encouraging PPE is working together with our teams to sensitize the public that they can register these people around here. We have at the district, I think there is a district community, one district who supports the registration of these.
However, the uptake among the intended beneficiaries remains low.
We have appointed special interest groups. There are the rest of the local providers, small and medium-sized operators. So with time, as the funding allows, we will cover the entire country. And the uptake is still low for that reason. This is something that is relatively new. So of course, in the beginning, the numbers were, slightly low.
A number of pressing concerns were raised by various leaders, highlighting the need for urgent reforms to expedite and improve procurement processes.
At least catch up on the time. I would like the AD to speak to that. What criteria is used to select someone who's given more than 5 projects and just move on as usual?
The requirement was also this: you must have capacity as a contractor to implement these 5 contracts at the same time. You must implement this at the same time.
The Executive Director reaffirmed the authority's commitment to improve the service delivery emphasizing dedication to addressing and minimizing delays in procurement processes.
So we have found the challenges, and I agree with the district officials who have complained in different forums that this cluster is not working, because every project, every district official, every leader would want his or her project executed at that time. But there are delays, and the delay is caused mainly by the weak capacity or the capacity that is lacking among our contractors.
Later, Benson Turamye paid a courtesy visit to the modern housing facility currently under construction, which will serve as the future home of PPDA's new offices. The executive director was also shown a parcel of land measuring over 60 decimals, acquired from the district executive committee, earmarked for the construction of PPDA offices to support the implementation of its oversight mandate in Mbale. Amwaye Vanjoko for UBC.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. Wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi yakabibiona. Wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Alright, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
New Colgate Herbal with Salt combines traditional nature's herbs with a pinch of salt and Colgate Science. A natural recipe for strong teeth and healthy gums.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Honorable Fred Biamukama, Minister of State for Works and Transport in charge of transport, invites you to the second phase of the 4-acre model campaign in Greater Bunyoro sub-region. The event will take place at Nalweyo Primary School Playground, Behimba Road, on Saturday, 20th September 2025 at 10 a.m. and will be graced by His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni. All residents, civil servants, and leaders from the districts that make up Greater Hoima, Greater Masindi, Greater Chibale, and neighboring areas are encouraged to attend in large numbers. This initiative, led by the President, aims to bring ordinary people into the money economy by showcasing farmers who have succeeded in the 1-acre model, 2-acre model, 3-acre model, and 4-acre model. Join local leaders and residents in learning how small land can be used to enhance food security and socio-economic growth. Don't miss this opportunity to witness the transformative impact on local communities.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the business scene. The National Drug Authority has arrested a suspect in downtown Kampala for possessing stolen government drugs, including family planning supplies. NDA spokesperson Abiaz Ramwiri said the boxes bearing government labels had been tracked from one of Uganda's borders before being recovered in a shop. The suspect is in custody at Old Kampala Police Station and faces prosecution.
Possession of classified drugs. These drugs are government drugs. They had removed some of the stickers from the box, but we were able to track it down. This is an implant, one of the birth control for women. It's supposed to be in government facilities, but as one of the vices of the safety of government drugs, which government has tasked us to crack down, we are able to get this somewhere. Munyore is now under arrest. We want to call upon the public to take these cases very seriously. These will end up in our young children, they will end up in the wrong hands, but even the way they are transported, the way they are kept concealed, drugs are very sensitive. They must be stored and transported in regulated temperatures.
Now, the Local Government Finance Commission has sounded an alarm on the escalating environmental degradation, calling for a stronger and more coordinated approach to enforcement, accountability and sustainable resource use. Now, this came during the budget negotiations for the Natural Resources, Environment, Climate Change and Water Management Program for financial year 2026-27.
Bring law enforcement officers to combat escalating environmental degradation on board has been driven by the excessive environmental degradation, which has greatly affected the environment.
Sometimes we stop at warning. Then when it comes to the real eviction, we need the backup of the environmental police, which sometimes is not easily accessed.
I'm aware there is one police officer who is attached in the district, I think in CID. But that person can't do much.
Local governments now, where they've reached, with the pressure we have on land, the only language they can hear is police enforcement. They no longer respect politicians because we need voice from them.
Key concerns were raised about water safety and pollution. Local governments were urged to make full use of water testing laboratories to ensure the water accessed by the public is safe.
National Water will take 2 days to give you results. These are people in business. They don't have time to wait for a week or two waiting for results from government. You know, we have that kind of bureaucracy in government.
The issue is, even when there's a certified private, someone using a non-certified laboratory. You get the point? So I agree with you that if in your area you have a certified laboratory, you don't have to travel.
I have no capacity to test because the catchment is big. I don't know which pollutant is there. I don't know what is causing this, the canalization, all those observatory things. So what are these certified laboratories?
The National Environment Management Authority revealed plans for equipping specialized environmental officers across the country.
Every year we normally do an exercise whereby we train these environment inspectors, take them through the laws, regulations to be able to equip them to be able to do their work.
Train, like when you see UA, the UA staff, that's what we are training. Already the curriculum for training is being developed.
For the community, even when the police are yet to come, because the police just for postmortem, they will come when they are just to enforce
to find what wrong has been done. So the issue of awareness is key.
However, several policy gaps persist, ranging from delayed legal clearances, inadequate oversight of funds, to weak planning and technical capacity at the local level.
Delayed legal clearance of agreements and memorandum of understanding prior to signing. We need to find a joint solution to this to avoid delays of project execution. Weak or inconsistent reporting systems limit effective tracking of progress, resource utilization, and accountability in service delivery.
Mary Namkose, Robert Katamba, UBC News.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the rider selection campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
New Colgate Herbal with Salt combines traditional nature's herbs with a pinch of salt and Colgate Science. A natural recipe for strong teeth and healthy gums.
And now into sports. The 84th John Walker Uganda Amateur Open Golf Championship has teed off at the Par 71 Lugazi Hills Golf and Country Club. We have the details.
The battle to decide Uganda's best amateur open golfer has attracted 70 players, including 6 foreigners, that will over the next 4 days contest for top honors.
Today we started the amateur championship, and so far it's been beautiful. The turn-up was very good. We have 70 players, with players coming from Burundi, Kenya, Zambia, and I think there's Tanzania.
By the end of day 1, Zambian Dominic Musonda was 6 under 65, which is just 2 ahead of last season's runners-up, Joseph Chinyai.
Everything was on point. Like my swing today I wasn't swinging well, but the only thing that helped me a lot is the putting and the short game.
Day 1 has been smooth and good for me. Carding a 67 on day 1 is something that has been impressive on my side, because I think this is one of my best stats ever for the Uganda Opens that I've ever played. Because I normally had the bad stats on day 1, but wow, this is A+ to me and gives me morale moving into the next 3 days of the tournament.
Tied for 3rd are Elton Tembo and Abdu Kaketo, who are at 1 under 70. The trio of Peter Tomusime, Rogers Eyoyo and John Musimenta is tied in 5th, while reigning champion Regan Akena is 27th position with a 6+77.
It's been a tough day today, but my driving wasn't that okay, my putting wasn't that okay, but tomorrow is another day. We'll make it, yeah.
The Amateur Open follows the Seniors and Ladies Open at this year's Johnny Walker Golf Open Championship that will climax later this month with the Professionals event.
The 2025 National Basketball League playoffs kick off this Friday with an official launch held at the Uganda Olympic offices in Lugogo. Now, 8 teams, each from the men's and women's category, will compete for top honors.
For the next 2 months, the 3-game series of the 2025 National Basketball League playoffs will begin this Friday. The launch officially happened at the Uganda Olympic offices in Lugogo.
All the teams that are into playoffs managed to beef up their squads. From seed 1 to I think seed 8, all the teams managed to beef up their squads. So let us expect the competition to be more entertaining to the fans.
The KIU Rangers will take on the UCU Lady Cannons in the University Derby for the first women's game, while the men's first encounter will see Summit take on the KCCA Panthers at the Lugogo Indoor Arena.
As far as the playoffs go, we just hope to get to a much more convenient position as Raise Life Saints from a team that barely made the playoffs, that was relegated a couple of years back.
For the playoffs, I should say for all the fans to come and expect the way you saw the regular season, teams have been competitive. They have been competing, putting a lot of effort and energy, and for the playoffs it's going to be even double. So
some of the other challenges for fans include the half-court challenge that will be available with prizes to be won.
Said like last year, we do have the half-court challenge, of course, the 1 million shillings half-court challenge that will be gradual. We've always had people win it. We've never actually been able to take that money back. So be excited, practice if you need to for that half-court challenge, practice if you need to for all the fun games we shall be having, free throw shots, three-pointers, you're at the basketball game.
8 teams each from the male and women's categories will compete for the top honors. The JKL Lady Dolphins are the reigning women's champions, with City Oilers holding the men's crown. Marsha Mira Victor, UBC News.
That UBC News Tonight comes to an end. Thank you so much for your company. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. Good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
According to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics Census Report of 2016, in Uganda, 12.4% of the population, about 4.5 million, live with a disability. Limited access to ICT and assistive technologies increases digital disparities, prompting UCOSAF's aim to promote digital inclusiveness for persons with disabilities. The ICT for People with Disability program aims to improve the accessibility of education and technology for persons with disabilities and promote their full and effective participation in society. UCOSAF is implementing this program through the creation and maintenance of an online observatory for persons with disabilities intended to link persons with disabilities with service providers and different programs that empower them, and provision of adaptive tools that enhance their quality of life through ICTs and digital skilling.
Father Joseph Muchibi, the Director of Communications and Public Relations, Kampala Archdiocese. Dear people of God, may the mercies of God be with you always. On behalf of His Grace, Fose Mogerere, the Archbishop of Kampala, I convey warm and Christian greetings to the general public. Lubaga Cathedral, the seat of the esteemed Archdiocese, has made a centenary jubilee since her consecration in 1925. This is a sign of God's presence and mercy among his people. The centenary celebrations will take place on October 26, 2025, and will be guided by the theme